Hey guys, I want to welcome you back to the Sensu Pop channel. For this deck profile, we will be doing a black deck. Woo! And it is none other than the Dark King himself, Mechikabura, finally making his appearance as a standalone leader in the Dragon Ball Super card game. And more than just that, he does have a very interesting mechanics, not a unique one, but a very interesting one, well loved. It is gonna be a wish leader, but an improved one. Personally, I've been enjoying this deck quite a bit because this deck lends itself to a mid to longer game with lots of defensive option. You want to control the game, that's what this deck wants to do. Very interesting mechanics, but also it is very annoying for your opponent to play against. So without further ado, let me take you through the mechanics of the card, some of my card choices and the interactions between the cards. See you guys after the short intro. Hey guys, I want to welcome you back from the intro. Before we talk about the mechanics, the card choices, how to play the deck, it is very important that we understand how the leader works. And the leader is pretty simple, especially for returning players, especially for veteran players, because this is the return of the wish leader itself. And it is so good because it is not just a simple wish mechanics, it is the improved wish mechanics. I'm gonna take you through what are some of the improvement. Alright, on his front side, it is very simple. Whenever he attacks, you get to pick your Dragon Ball, 2 of them from your drop or from your from your life or from your deck. Pick 2 of them and put it into your drop area and put it into your hands. All right, and once you have 7 Dragon Ball in your drop area, you can wish by flipping it over. It's basically awaken, but you don't get a desire card. What you get is you untap 1, you draw 1, which admittedly it is improvement number 1. So once you awaken, you have Dark King Mechikabura restored to the throne. When he swings, you get to draw a card. No longer you have to wish to get to draw a card, you get to draw a card. So this is improvement number 2. So you have 2 types of wishes that you can make. The first one is at the cost of 1 card from your hand to your bottom of your deck, you get to pick 1. The first one, you choose one of your opponent's battle card, 4 or less. Then you negate the skills, then you gain control of it. Switch it to active, then you gain control of it. Very annoying to deal with because 4 or less, basically we are dealing with a 15k or 20k, so you can use them to swing or use it for a 0 plus 5k combo because it doesn't have skills anyways, so you cannot be a blocker and stuff like that. So use it to swing, why not? Extra aggression, because aggression is also hand destruction. Okay, and his ultimate ability is remove that 7 Dragon Ball. What you're gonna gain is this card gains triple attack. Take note also, when this card attacks, you get to draw a card. This is not a once per turn ability. That means every time you swing with this triple attack, you get to draw a card. Really good, pretty good. So this is the leader itself. It really lends itself to a mid to long game, and it's all about control, and control. All right, so what do we have to do now? Let's talk about the Dragon Ball, because that mechanics changed quite a bit. Alright, so let's talk about the Dragon Ball. There are 2 types of Dragon Ball, Dark Dragon Ball, that we are going to be playing. The first one is the Dark Empire Strikes Back, and the second one is Yearning for the Dark Dragon Ball. And the ratio, it's always the same with almost every single deck that I saw. It is 4 and 3. Because the Yearning for the Dark Dragon Ball doesn't draw you any card, but the Dark Empire Strikes Back allows you to. So take the Dark Empire Strikes Back, take 1 Yearning for Dark Dragon Ball, take them, put it into your drop area, you get to draw a card, and your opponent has to send 1 battle card from their drop to warp. And this is the mechanics that we have to talk about in the upcoming section. So you want to awaken, but how do you awaken fast or wish really fast? By putting that 7 Dragon Ball, you can turbo charge that 7 Dragon Ball. And how you're gonna do it? The first one is your Black Smoke Dragon, Offering of Destruction. This card looks so good, I had to get it all for it out. And he is a very good unison though, because for 1 cost he is a 15k, which that means he's gonna stay on the board for quite some time, especially in the earlier game. Activate main once per turn, you get to add 1 marker, and he has ability to rejuvenate. So if your opponent doesn't commit resources to take him out, it is gonna give you so much value. However, the -1 is where it is at, because -1, your opponent sends 1 battle card from drop to warp again. After that, what happens here is you get to choose placed up to 2 Dragon Balls from your deck and put it into your drop area. You don't get to draw from the 2, that would be a little bit OP, but just to compensate you a little bit, it allows you to draw a card. So you can actually -1 to draw a card for this. That's how powerful it is. Alright, one of the other ways is Demon God, Towa, Ritual at hand. You have quite a lot of battle cards, which is Towa, Stroom, and Salsa. Every single one of them has an activate main ability. Tap 1 if your leader card is Mechikabura and you already have 2 Dragon Ball. Duck Dragon Ball, not so difficult because you swing with your Mechikabura, and after that you can put already 2 Dragon Ball, and you tap 1, play her. When you play her with that activate main ability, you get to go to your deck, choose 2 Dragon Ball and put it into your drop area, just like that. Easy. Alright, and all these cards, Stroom, Salsa, they all have the same ability. So using your Unison, using Stroom, Salsa, or Towa, you get to tap 1 and then put 2 Dragon Ball into your drop area, just like that from your deck. So you want turbocharge, you want to awaken fast, this is how you do it. One of the quick tips that you can do is Demon God, Towa, Salsa, Stroom. Before you awaken and you want Dragon Ball from your deck to your drop area, you can tap 1 and play them from your hand, because when you do that using the activate main, you get to choose 2 Dragon Ball from your deck and put it into your drop area. However, after you awaken, the activate main ability doesn't really do much anymore, and all of them has a come into play effect. So when you come into play effect, it doesn't matter if you activate main or stuff. One of the better ways to play it is using Mechikabura, Ritual Hands. When you play this card, you get to draw a card, and he has the activate main ability, which is tap 1. You get to look up to top 7 cards of your deck, and you play either Demon God, Towa, Salsa, or Stroom from that 7 card. A little bit RNG over there, however it helps you in a certain way that if it's Demon God, Towa, Salsa, and Stroom, you get to pick one, you get to play them, and at the same time you get their come into play effect. And every single one of them, it's pretty good, except for Stroom, but every single one of them, it's pretty good. So you can do them just like that. And it is not a -1 from your hand, because you don't have to play Demon God, Salsa, or Towa. So Mechikabura becomes quite a high priority target for your opponent to take care of. And take a look at that artwork. Amazing. Okay, so let's talk a bit about board control. Because if you want to survive and not die, maybe you need to control and make sure your opponent does not have a lot of battle card, a lot of beat stick to hit you in the face with. Alright, so one of the ways that you can do it, which is a really good way, it's Demon God's Towa, Ritual at hand. When you play 1 from your hand or from Mechikabura, what you can do here is when she is played, you get to choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle card and send it to its owner's warp. So it doesn't matter whether it's a big, small battle card, as long as it has no barrier. Towa is able to take care of them, and it's one of the most powerful way though, because it doesn't send to drop, it sends it to warp, which is just amazing. And your opponent chooses 1 card in your hand, send it to their warp, and then they get to draw a card. They, not you, stop dreaming. Alright, and more than just that, she is a defensive card on her own 10k blocker for 1 energy that does all these things. We are not gonna complain, alright? And the other way that we can do it is a very passive way, not directly but indirectly. Dark General, Wicked Wishmaster. How good is this card by itself? Not good. But with conjunction with your deck mechanics, this card becomes so high priority that your opponent wants to take care of. If against some games, this card will not stay alive. For example, against green, forget it. This card will not stay alive. But maybe against yellow, maybe against blue, you have, or even against red, because this is 20k, not so easy. This card has such a high priority to stay alive, so you can actually play him up, and the longer that he stays, the more benefit it gives you. And let me explain this card to you. Alright, activate main, you can actually pick this card and put it under your Unison to just gain 1 marker, and this card is a 0+5k in your hand, so we play 4 off because this card has no downside. And but his auto is where this card shines. Also, once per turn, if your leader card is black, when a battle card from your opponent's drop area is sent to their warp, I told you, Towa, everybody, I mean Salsa, Towa, everybody has the ability to do that. When this card, a battle card, is sent from a drop to warp from your opponent's side, you get to draw a card. Then just to add salt to injury, you choose 1 of your opponent's battle card. It doesn't matter whether it's a big, small, as long as it does not have barrier, you get to remove them, just like that. Amazing, right? So your Salsa is able to do that, your Black Smoke Dragon is able to do that, your Strumin's able to do that, and it's just simply amazing. Alright, and one of the other ways that you can do that, it's King Vegeta, a Kingdom Loss, unique double strike barrier for 2 energy when you play him. If your opponent has 3 or more cards in their warp, which is pretty easy with this deck. When this card is played, you get to choose 1 card from your opponent's hand and 1 of their battle card and send it to its opponent's warp once per turn. When this card is in rest mode, when your opponent decides to attack your leader, they have to send 1 card from their hands to warp. But don't depend on this ability and say my leader is safe. No, not really. 1 card is not a lot, especially in a card where hand size is pretty big. They would disregard your King Vegeta most of the time, alright? Okay, so one of the very important thing about staying alive is not just about defending, it's not about board control, it's also to keep your hand size up for combo power and also for your options to play during your turn. And Salsa, Retro at hand, and Black Smoke Dragon, we know all this. Every time you activate, like when you swing with Salsa, you get to draw a card. And then with Black Smoke Dragon, when you activate the -1, you get to draw a card. Most importantly, in conjunction with Dakshinron Wicked Wishmaster, you get to draw an additional card when you activate their ability. Salsa, it's one of the best cards in your deck, and especially in your toolkit. It's because when this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 battle card from their drop and send it to their warp. And if they do that, if they don't do that, you still get to draw a card. So this card is a 15k that comes up from 1 cost. Every time he swings, you get to draw a card. And every time if the Dark Shenron Wicked Wishmaster is there, you get to draw an additional card, and then you get a board control. These 2 cards, when you set it up on the board, you are done. And after that, do a Black Smoke Dragon -1 to draw an additional one. With your leader, with these 3 cards that you have, you are a draw 4 per turn. Alright, so we talk about how to keep your hand size up and how to control your opponent's board. Now we have to talk about your defensive option. And this deck itself, it's not that they have some defensive option. It has one of the best defensive option. Alright, so Demon God Routine Retro at hand. Let me introduce you to the new topo and a better one, even though it's leader lock, but it is a very, very good topo. Counter attack, if your leader card is a black Mechikabura only card, you negate the attack and you play this card. 2 costs, there is no way to make this a little bit smaller. If your opponent if it's during your opponent's turn, you choose 1 card, put it at the bottom of your deck. What happens here is whenever your opponent chooses to attack after this attack, your opponent has to have an additional cost of sending 2 cards from your hands and send it to warp. That is simply crazy. Your opponent swings with their leader, and after that they cannot swing with anything unless they pay additional 2. Basically, this buys you a turn. It just basically just shuts it down. Why is it better than Topo? Because Topo, as the counterattack cost, Topo has to send a card from your hand to your drop. However, for Poutine wise, if this card gets countered, you don't have to minus 1 card from your hand. So that card, it's only that part with that 1 card, it's only when this card comes into play. Alright. And the other defensive option is Darkness Judgment, 1 cost negate. Unfortunately, it does not have sparking, but what it lacks in terms of sparking wise, it makes it up for its active bait battle, because this is a free Sensu Bean. So what happens is during your opponent's turn, you are able to choose any one of your card. It can be your Unison card, it can be King Vegeta, your battle card, or your leader card. It gets a plus 5k for the battle. No, for the turn. So if you have 2 of, and this is not a once per turn ability. So during your opponent's turn, you can actually activate 2 of them to pump your leader up to 25. So if you're up against Winnie, your opponent tries to swing with 15k, with 20k, you are 25. Your opponent is going to have a very, very hard time just to take damage off you. And take note, this plus 5k, it's only during your opponent's turn, so you cannot use it to pump your Mechikabura for the triple attack to go for 30 if you give 3 of them. It doesn't work that way, alright? And of course, we need to talk about Supreme Kai of Time Labyrinth Unleash. How good is this card? I have to make I have to say that I underestimate how good this card is. This card, it's really good. You negate the attack and you play this card, and you choose up to one of your opponent's battle card and send it to warp at the end of turn. It's played with the skills negated. That means for one cost, this card is a 0+5k combo, negates the attack and prevents a attack. This card is just simply amazing. If your opponent has cards that says, okay, he has triple strike or triple attack, when you negate that, everything is gone. If your opponent has a card that could evolve on top, like you know, I think in one game someone swings with a card that after the end of the battle he is able to do something and re-swing and something like that, I just negate it and that card, it's out of the picture just like that. Really good card, extremely powerful negate. And of course you have your blocker and King Vegeta, Kingdom Lost. Take note, like I said, King Vegeta, don't depend on him to keep your leader alive, because one card is actually not that much. It's once per turn, alright? And of course we have to talk about the boss monster. It is gonna be Dark King Mechikabura himself. Power restored. How powerful is this card? This card is extremely powerful. For 4 energy you get to play him, deflect, double strike. If your opponent has 4 or more cards in their warp, you get to board clear them. It doesn't ignore barrier, so anything that has no barrier gets board clear. But more than just that, you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle card in their warp, and then you get to play them in your battle area with their skills negated. So I've ever played against Dark Broly, and the other 2-1 is a 30k vanilla. So it is just amazing. So most probably when you swing with this card, your opponent is going to negate. However, the next time your opponent has to deal with 2 30k vanilla, 2 20k, 2 25k vanilla. That is their card. And also after that, you know, you bring him down to 1, and after that you can go for the triple strike, triple attack, Dark King Mechikabura, swing and draws. But the attack doesn't end here after 4 energy, because you have a 1 free energy play. Now we have to go outside of a theme a little, alright? So when your opponent thinks, okay, I deflect this, I negate this double strike, I defend myself, I combo out of the 2 vanilla 30k or 25k, and I protect myself from a triple attack from the leader himself that my opponent draws 3, he thought he is safe. He is not safe, because we are going to be calling the power of the Ginyu Force. It is going to be Ginyu, the Body Snatcher. This is a card that I think that we should really play, because it is a double strike, right? You get to choose activate main. You don't have to pay for. How do you play this card is using his activate main. You choose 1 battle card that you gain control of from your opponent with one of your card skills, and then you place it in his owner's drop area, and then you get to play this card from your hand. So after deflecting all this attack, negating, protecting, or comboing out, he has to deal with another 20k double striker. No fun at all for him. So the final attack, the final swing, just go him for it. It is not theme, unfortunately, but it's Ginyu. We can make exception for that. Hey guys, this is the deck profile itself, and I believe I went through every single card, so basically there's nothing much to explain except for one, which is the SCR, Supreme Kai of Time. I have never, this is a very powerful card, but I have never once played it. However, I'm still putting it in my deck because this card, it is still a very important card, because it is still one of the best ways to clean up your opponent's board and also your unison. I understand your Dark King Mechikabura able to clean up your opponent's board, but an extra one that stops unison and leader attack, why not? So but maybe you can put in other SCRs. I think some people put in the Shinshinron Zeno. I'm not gonna fault that either. Or the lineage to play it along with the team for stealing people's battle card. I don't see why we need that, but I don't know. Pick one. Like I said, I've never find myself needing any one of them. Usually the games are won without playing the SCRs. Alright. Hey guys, I want to thank you. If you're still here listening to me, thank you so much. If you like this video, appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up, and also if you want to support what I'm doing here and be part of the Sensupop channel, I would appreciate if you give this this channel a subscribe. Really appreciate you for that. Hey guys, stay safe enjoy playing this Dragon Ball Super card game. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.